Yes, room of desire.
Praise the Lord. She really wants to thank Papa so much for the change in her life. She used to be a rough person who loved fighting. She used to fight even with a man anytime. But Christ has redeemed her. She doesn't do that anymore. Secondly, she has temper, very short one. Any slight thing she wants to fight. She wants to thank you, Papa. She even doesn't know how to thank you. She just wants to thank you so much for God. Now, she's continuous, wants to thank you because in her family they used not to love her because she has a very hot temper. Even at her marital home, she used to fight with her husband, but now it's no more. She even doesn't know how to thank you. The God, creator of heaven and earth, should reward you multiple times. Secondly, see, she wants, the man she had married used not to help her. Even when she got pregnant, he didn't help her. He only came to see the baby when the baby was 6 months on her back, even when she was just passing by. The husband came from Juba. When they met, he greeted the man and the man said, "Grace, how are you?" Then there he only gave his the back of his hand to greet her. Then he said, "Hey Stephen, why did you greet me with the back of your hand?" Then he questioned her, "Is this really my child or somebody's child?" Then he started playing with her baby. She didn't even respond to the man. Then she asked him why he doesn't pick if she calls him. Then he said those calls are very useless. Then she had to apologize to him and say if the calls are not important, he should forgive her, and she has forgiven him. They parted ways, but she still felt heartbroken. The man still was looking at her for some time as he was walking away with the baby. She reached home, she was feeling all bad. The neighbors were advising her to take an action against the man. She just said if it was a God in heaven who brought him to her, God will settle all this. She can't do anything. Even including her in-laws, no one loves her. Even when she calls the grandmother of the child, she sees the call and puts the line busy. Now, right now as she talks, everything has been settled. She didn't even know that this thing would happen like this. It's not her first time. Kiza is the brother. She has traveled all the way from Lira. When she reached Kiza's home, She said, these children are preparing, where are they going? Peace said, these children are going for prayers. And then she asked where? Then Peace asked her if she could go to Iwata. She said, why can't she go? If it is a place of worship, she will still go. First time she entered there, when she entered, she felt some peace within her. When the choir was singing, she danced so much. When Papa was coming on the altar, my life has been my she felt goosebumps all over her body and a shiver on her skin. But that day when she knelt down and Papa said everyone should speak in a different dialect, she prayed and felt something different was happening in her life. When they reached home, the following day she went to the village. She felt like everyone in the home used to hate. She felt like everyone in the family used to hate her. Things had changed. They welcomed her warmly. Then she called Kiza. Then she asked Kiza of the progresses of things in this place because he wanted to return here. Because he has a home in Logiri. She said she will come anytime because he had no money, but God will open ways for her. When God opened way for her, she had some clothes she came with from Sudan. She returned with them. She sold the clothes to get transport to come here. The day she reached here, the following day she came, Kiza encouraged her not to get tired but continue coming. She came. Her elder brother is mentally ill and he's being imprisoned. She went to see her brother in prison. The following day she said she's coming to the church for prayers. She came here, she prayed wholeheartedly, and now God has answered her. And when God answered her before she saw Papa. The time she met Papa around 8 p.m. When they were discussing with Papa was simply laughing. Then Papa said, so your husband greeted you with the back of his hand? She said yes. Then he asked her to go home. After reaching home, before she prays, she should sprinkle the water and then kneel down and pray. She did what Papa instructed her to do. The following day, the friend felt bad. What kind of God are they looking for? She says, Skovia, I've forgiven you. The God I'm looking for is a creator of heaven and earth, and he will do everything for me.
Then da ba tina te skimo dre so fasting like orma ka kira.
She did all that Papa had instructed her to do. She even fasted. She didn't know that something else was going to happen. She only stayed for 2 days. The father called her from home. The father said he had called her and she didn't pick. What's the problem? She said, Daddy, the phone was inside. Then he said, what did you discuss with your husband? Because the clan had written to the husband and the husband had not replied to the letter. The husband also fooled her out. All those things were now not in her mind. That time the father was speaking to her. She knelt down and her hand was up. She could not even talk. She only was crying. Then the sister said, don't cry, just do what my father has asked you to do. Then the father said her husband had called him from Juba. That her father and the husband talked nicely, yet that used to be a man who could not pick any family members, her family members' phone. Kiza is the go-between. Kiza also was fearing. So that day the man spoke to her father and said, in December he will come and finish everything. She really wondered. She started crying and said, Dad, this is not true. He said, that's the truth, only that God should the word. The following day she came here. She stood there. When they were praying, she came with a sister. She felt her feet were burning. They prayed wholeheartedly. Everything went on well. Yesterday, the man called her by himself. The man talked to her and told her everything that he had discussed with her family. Then asked, are you with a baby, with a child next to you here? She said yes. Then the child is sick, but the child spoke to the dad and said, Daddy, I am sick. She was very happy. She called father. She was so excited. She didn't know what to say. When Papa called her, she was yet talking. She had been talking with her mom from Lira. She didn't now receive that call. She said today she must come here. This is her testimony. God should reward Papa so much. Those are things that had never happened in her life.